This game is heating up, folks. Frank squares up like a butcher block on defense. Audie with the fadeaway. She's on fire! Literally, that is. The net has been burned to a crisp.
Happy Monday, Overthinkers. Happy Monday, Scott. Happy Monday, Cade.
Happy Monday.
Did you feel that? Did you hear that? Just the biggest deep breath in, just inhaling.
It's so freaking cold now.
It's so cold.
Temperature check is 4 degrees here in Waterbury, Des Moines proper.
Adorable.
And looks like it's going to get to might make it feel like -6 once we get wind up there.
My kids are home from school today. It is President's Day. We will get to that. No school, no daycare. So they are home. Well, Jeff just took them to lunch because he's the best husband ever. Because otherwise you would think there were elephants parading around my house. But they have been sledding by this window so fast because the snow is cold and it feels like ice. We have septic tanks out here. They are ramping the septic tank covers. There's a pipe sticking out of the ground. Just a lot of danger. So I'm glad they got the hell out of here because I was worried about them.
This sounds like my childhood. I'm very excited that you're raising your children this way.
Yeah.
We had a septic tank. I'll never forget. It was the biggest hole I'd ever seen in my life when my parents, the old sewer system when I was growing up didn't work. So they had to dig this sucker out and put a new septic. It was so big. We grew up on well water. Right. And so it was like, and that well was right next to the septic tank, so just probably not great design. But hey, look at me now. I never get sick.
Look at you. We're on that good, aka that well water as well. But we have a Culligan system, and he says it's like 94%, which is higher than most water. So I don't want to brag, but I've got that good well water.
You don't need any filtration when it comes to well water.
Oh my God.
Drink that, Cade. Have you ever drank water out of a well?
Yeah, tastes like scrambled eggs. So
here's the thing about well water, and everybody listening who has
here's the thing.
Well water. Every well has different characteristics. It's like a fine wine.
Mm-hmm.
You might get a little more metallic.
Yeah, brain-eating amoebas.
A little more sulfur sometimes. You just never quite know what you're going to get. And
just like with the show.
Yeah. It changes from rainfall to rainfall, so it's the gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah, it truly is. So anyway, I'm gonna rely on that Culligan water filtration system as long as I can because we just don't need that. We have a lot to cover today. One thing we're not going to cover is the J curves. So I'm so sorry if you were listening to Two Guys this morning and you were promised J curve combo because we're not talking about it unless Scott has a deep passion for talking about it.
It's funny you use those words. I was not aware of the J curve until
I don't think most people are.
Chris. Would you explain it so we can tell people why we're not talking about it, Mackenzie?
No, I think it's just exactly.
Cade Murphy, get up here. Explain what the J curve is.
Deal me out on this one.
His dad's listening. We're not doing that. And my parents are probably listening. So I simply can't.
If we ever do Overthinking Midnight Edition.
I would love for you to explain it to us.
And there's a chart that somewhat involves a J curve that I'd really like to get everybody's feedback on. But you know what? That's a tease. Let us know if you ever want to hear Overthinking with Mackenzie and Scott after dark.
They don't. I can guarantee they don't. They would look at us completely different. And maybe that's good.
Mackenzie, I think you're underestimating how crude you are on this show regularly at noon on Monday.
You called me out on something in a specific group chat this weekend, and I was like, I was just joking. And then when you yelled my name, yelled my name, all caps, my name. I was like, oh, okay, you're right. I'm so sorry, but it's just the way that I am.
On the show, I'm the guy who crosses the line. On this show, you're the gal that crosses the line.
It's okay because someone's got to do it, and I am happy to do it. So Friday, I volunteer at the school, it's my brag, and I shouldn't brag about it too much. It's 15 minutes helping kids before the bell rings with their homework. Anyway, after that, I was heading out, and somebody that listens to the show said, "I just want to tell you, you make my week listening to your show. It's just so funny. It's just so fun, and love the guys, love you. I really thought Scott was going to be a dirty old man after listening to episode 1, but he's not, and he is great, and he's so funny." I said, "He is." I said, "Both of these guys are fantastic."
Why did she think that? And Kate, if you could, I don't know if you could find that video of that golf swing that I love so much.
Yeah, if you'll remember, we spent probably half of the show talking about a golf swing, a really nice golf swing.
You asked me what the most beautiful things in the world are. And I told you one of the most beautiful things in the world is the golf swing, a well-tempoed.
I don't think that's what I asked you. I think I asked you, hear me out, didn't I? I can't remember.
Yeah, you asked me, hear me out, and hear me out. This is something I find attractive that most people don't find attractive. For me, it's the golf swing.
I'm pretty sure most people found that attractive.
I'm not a dirty old man, although I have to.
No, you're not.
Here's the thing, though. We talked about this a little bit last week. And watching SNL50, this Sabrina Carpenter woman she's an attractive lady.
Well, of course she is. I was overthinking what yeah.
Is it okay for me to find her attractive?
She is attractive. I think you ask a passing dog if they think she's attractive, it's going to say yes. That's a hydrant I'd love to piss on. That's what they're going to say. No, that's not a good one. No, that's not a good one. That's not good, actually. Never mind. Can we retract? Let's just cut that out.
Yeah. Sabrina Carpenter. I do enjoy. I don't look down on pop music as much as people may think I'm some hoity-toity elitist who listens to jazz music all the time.
Only on vinyl. Yeah.
On vinyl.
Yeah.
I really do enjoy the art of pop music. And I feel like she has done such a nice job. Our mic is low. Here we go. I'm turning it up. Thank you.
Wow.
Sabrina Carpenter, she's got a great personality, good music. It's catchy, no doubt about it. And she seems to get the game. And her and Paul Simon playing Homeward Bound was very nice. So anyway, I have a crush on Sabrina Carpenter, and I need to know if that's okay, Mackenzie.
It's okay. I think you're with most of America. I think most of America has a crush on Sabrina Carpenter. I do. She is just the cutest.
Have you figured out the gentleman's rule on being attractive to people? The gentleman rule when you're dating is half your age plus 7. What is it? This is why I feel I don't want to become a dirty old man. I don't. I also don't want to be a liar.
Yeah. Well, honesty is the best policy, especially here. But I think the first policy is you overthink everything, and you are doing that right now. So we quit. Let's quit beating this dead horse. Let's just quit and just call the horse what it is. It's a hot little horse. It's a hot little pony.
Oh my gosh.
So it's President's Day. My kids are home. The daycare. It's a federal holiday, but not a national holiday, right?
I love presidents. Who is your favorite president of all time, Mackenzie?
McKinley. President McKinley.
McKinley?
Yeah.
Because of the name?
No. I lived in a very old
house. In 1999, see lightning. Sabrina Carpenter was born in 1999. Oh my gosh.
What grade were you in?
1999. I was a sophomore or junior at Carroll High School. Go Tigers.
Nice. And you had curly hair and lots of it, right?
I was moose, lots of moose. I had full moose hair.
Cute.
Yeah, my hair, I've always had bad hair. I did start watching Frasier going back just last night late. I've been working all week. Flip It Forward on Hoodoo has been crushing it.
I was going to ask you about Flip It Forward.
But just watching Frasier. And Kate, I don't know if you could bring up a photo of Kelsey Grammer, season 1 of Frasier. But he's got this hair that's a lot more like Benjamin Franklin than I remembered. But he's still a handsome man. And it makes me think that maybe I could pull off the Frasier crane. Big, huge growth, but then bald on the front.
Okay, I have a question. When that show was out and popular, Were the ladies watching that thinking he was handsome? I actually don't
think
even remember.
so.
Now that grosses me out because
What, really? Kelsey Grammer? He's an attractive man. He's masculine.
I but he wasn't in that show.
I
Was he?
I think so.
No.
I mean,
what
I'm
was
only.
what was that show even about? Him.
Oh, so he has moved. So it starts in at Cheers in Boston, where Frasier Crane has
Wait,
been going there.
Frasier's a spinoff?
Mackenzie. Yes. It's a spinoff of Cheers.
I
Frasier
just
Crane.
found that out recently as well.
I
so
did not know that.
Yeah,
No, I did not know
that's news to
that.
me as well.
You guys got to watch Cheers. It is very good. But Frasier leaves Boston
Okay.
and moves to Seattle to start his life over after Cheers, the show, and
Okay.
that's where his brother lives. It's where his father lives, but his mother has died, and so now he started a radio program called Hello. It's Frasier Crane. I'm listening, and he's a psychiatrist, so he just does a lot of relationship advice.
I forgot the
Wow.
entire premise of that show.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Thank
so
you.
his dad moves in with him because he fell. He's a cop who got a bullet in his hip, so he wasn't
Okay.
able to take care of himself. So he moves in to Frasier's life, and Frasier's brother
Nigel?
falls in love with the housekeeper, and now we have ourselves a farcical comedy for 9 years. I think they just brought it back from what I saw.
What's
Maybe
his
I'll
brother's
catch up with
name?
that. Niles.
Niles. And he wasn't gay? I thought Niles was gay. Was Niles gay?
Nope. Niles is not gay. He's just very elitist, and
Okay.
he is a bit effeminate in the sense
Yeah.
that he's kind of weak a little bit. He loves this woman Daphne, but he never makes a move till really late on. So yeah, that he's simping a bit for sure.
Stimping a bit. You guys teach me so much on this show.
Well,
How did we
it's a-
even get here? How did we get to Frasier? You were watching Frasier. Oh,
Oh,
his
yeah.
hair. Oh,
Look at
wow.
this.
Yeah, no.
Do you think
No.
I could
Sorry.
pull that off?
It just would not
No.
load, but I finally got.
I understand why. There's a lot to kind of process here, and the computer just couldn't. I
Speaking
get
of the
it.
computer processing, look at that computer in the background. But look at Frasier's hair. Look how thin it is up front, right?
Yeah, this was not the right choice.
If I grow it out, I think I could. I think this is what my hair would look like.
No.
Scott, you got some curls to you, don't you?
I do, yeah, for sure.
I feel like that might complement the little party in the back. I feel like the curls would complement.
His forehead
it.
is gigantic. Maybe this is the angle or that.
Frasier
look
or
at that
Scott's?
Yeah.
Oh,
no,
okay.
no, not Scott. Scott has a
No,
great
my forehead is getting bigger. Look at this.
No. Look at the glare coming off of Frasier's forehead. Wow.
It is
Yeah.
pretty good.
I do
But
see
I
the
enjoy it.
vision. I see the vision, Scott. I do.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
I hope I never see that. on you.
You should watch. Just go and watch the first episode, just so you get a sense of it's. We talk about pop music being its own thing that you have
Yeah.
to sort of appreciate. Sitcoms, these multi-cam sitcoms that have sort of gone the way of the dodo. Well, not so much. The dodo is really gone. There's still some of those sitcoms around.
They're
But-
going to bring it back though, just like the Woolly
but
Mammoth.
there is there's the theatrical performative side of it that is very different than what we do a lot of the modern time of comedy. And I always thought that was cheesy, and the laugh track was cheesy. But now that I've gotten older, I've come to realize how to appreciate these different forms of entertainment for what they are. It's like I shouldn't judge WWE on the same standard that I'm judging a Batman movie.
Yeah, I would agree with that. How did we get here? We were talking about President's Day. How did we get to
Who's your
Frasier?
favorite president of all
Yeah.
time?
President McKinley, because I was telling you, I grew up in a really old house. In this shed of this old house, there was a portrait of President McKinley, and I believe his mother, and then maybe someone else. And I was always like, yeah, he's pretty cool. And then I think I wrote a paper on him because of that reason. I don't remember anything. Who is your favorite? Because I
Well,
know you have.
Do you like McKinley because he died? He died in office. That's how he got Teddy Roosevelt.
I thought that was pretty rad. It was a
Yeah.
pretty baller move. Pretty dramatic. I like that.
Yeah, I love Teddy Roosevelt. Speaking of which, nice. But I try to, when I answer these questions, I try not to do the obvious ones because George Washington, Abraham Lincoln are a tier above all the rest of the presidents that we've had. So instead of looking at it from how effective they were, or how ineffective they were. I'm just looking at my favorites. And I love William Taft.
Wasn't
And
he that big fat ass that died in the
yes,
bathtub?
here is the reason is that I feel like I could relate to William Taft, not
I don't.
the size, but he didn't really want to be president. He happened to be the vice president of his best friend, Teddy Roosevelt. And so Teddy was not going to do 3 terms. This was back before we had the constitutional amendment that presidents could only serve 2 terms for 10 years. And so Teddy Roosevelt had this option. He was so popular at the end of his second term. He could have won a 3rd term, but he stuck with that George Washington adage of 2 terms is enough. I'm out. So he left. Because he was so popular, he pretty much handpicked Taft. Taft didn't want the job, but you can't turn it down. And he hated being president so much. He just eat and eat and eat and eat and eat. And he started running the country into the ground. And Teddy Roosevelt ended up hating him so much that he ran against him in the election of 1912. So you have these 2 Republicans. One, Teddy Roosevelt is on the Bull Moose Party now, and Taft is the incumbent Republican. And then it brings in Woodrow Wilson, the Democrat, who would have not won in any other situation, but that they split that conservative vote. Woodrow Wilson becomes president, leads us through World War I. How different the world would have been. And here's the best part, though, why I love Taft. His dream job was to be Chief Justice of the United States Supreme Court, not President of the United States. And after he lost that election, he was eventually confirmed to be the lead, the chair, the head honcho of the United States Supreme Court. So Chief Justice William Taft and President Taft are both of his titles. And that's why I love Henry Taft.
Scott School.
Thank you. Sorry, I really got into that. I just love that. I love that so much that even you can fail at the top level. Don't let your dreams go by. And also, once he stopped being president, William Taft lost a bunch of weight, and he was quite healthy when he was
I imagine
Chief Justice.
that it would be a stressful job that would cause a lot of overeating. Yeah. Yeah, it would. Did he not die in a bathtub? Why did I think
he got stuck in a bathtub.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
While he was president.
Stuck. Yeah.
So he ate for his stress. Teddy Roosevelt drank a gallon of coffee a day for his stress. So,
nice.
You deal with however you can when you're an overthinker.
That's exactly right. And who's to say it's wrong? Who's to say? Not me. I want to remind everybody about this Friday's little party that we have going on, the fan appreciation party. So it's this Friday from 7 to close at the Irish in West Glen. So if you're 21 years or older, that's a pretty important part. Come out and join us. You're going to be there, aren't you, Scott?
I will be there. Will you be there, Mackenzie?
I will be there.
You're coming all the way from the middle of
Iowa? Gotta support. Yes. Gotta get away from these kids. Yeah.
I feel like
love you, kids.
this there's too much caps going on in this right here. It's kind of like
yelling
for me. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know
But
what?
hey,
We demand you show up.
Everybody get there. Yeah.
right.
Murph and Andy will be there. Chris will be there. Other Chris won't be there. I'll let you guess which one.
That's kind of a sore subject too.
Well,
yeah.
You know what's a sore subject for me? Where the hell's the Overthinking logo? That's what I want to know. Where's it at?
We're not the only. We got to earn our keep. I get it.
We know everybody that's coming to this is coming because of this show.
Of course, obviously they're coming.
But
there's even a couple of Southeast Iowans coming up for this party.
Oh, very nice.
And we know how to have a party. We know how to hold the fort down.
Hey, Cade Murphy, are you going to be at the fan appreciation party?
Oh, you bet, man.
You better be.
Gosh.
You bet.
Can the 3 of us hang out and not talk to any of the other shows?
Yes.
No, we can't. I'm like the social. No, I'm not. I'm really not.
You know what's going to happen. It's just going to be J-curve conversation the entire time.
No, because Chris Hassel is the one that likes to talk about the J-curve conversations, and he's not going to be there. So I don't think we have to worry about that.
Well, I think we should always worry about it.
Yeah. J-curve should always be right here.
I feel bad for people that didn't listen to 2 guys this morning and they have no idea what we're
Okay,
talking about, and
Mackenzie-
then no, hold on, before, and then they go to Google and look it up, and they just get like jump scared.
Mackenzie, just explain it. Just
poor
do
peop-
it in a very
I
comfortable
didn't
way.
bring it up. So where this whole conversation started was because a couple weeks ago we were talking about a certain type of implant. And then
The
from
penile
that
implant.
Yeah, from that conversation. And now that you say I'm such a pervert, I don't want to say the things that I normally say because I'm in my head about it. So anyway, that's where it came from. I
Okay.
didn't bring it up. I didn't start. I don't know what a J curve is. I've only seen one of those in my entire life. My husband, we have 30 children.
Your husband has the J curve?
No.
You said you've only seen one in your whole life. Jeff.
We simply must
Jeff
move
the
on.
J curve. Edie.
Hey,
That's what we're
speaking
gonna
of
call
which,
Let's talk about viral moments.
Yeah, we had a viral moment. For Hoodoo, we had this. This is a transition. Yes,
Keep
we
going.
started
I'm
Flip It
just swag.
Forward. We're 5-6 days in now, and the house has been transformed incredibly. So we've been putting out a ton of content, but we had our first viral video, and it got over 500,000 views on TikTok, thousands and over 10,000
Wow.
likes, and I don't know if we can play it here, but I put out so much content. What goes viral and what doesn't, it is opaque to me.
Yeah. Let's play it. I want to see this.
These things are so cool. You see these up in attics and you've seen them in older kitchens. This is an exhaust for the kitchen that goes exhaust right out into the driveway. Needs a little work, but I like it. I think we should keep it.
I can see why that went viral because that is so interesting. That little exhaust fan.
Is it the sound? I feel like there's a rhythm to it, possibly, because I've chopped up. There's more of that video. I made a couple different edits, and I put them all out, and none of them. They only get 2,000-3,000 views. This one got over 600,000.
No, I think it's just because it's interesting. Like I've never seen that before. I think people love that kind of thing.
Well,
Does this
we
house
are-
have one of those mirrors that have the hole behind it where people would stick
No.
their razor blades?
Nope,
Yeah.
none of those. Not this time. But the smell of cat urine and 40 years of tobacco smoke are pretty much gone now. So it's pretty exciting.
Oh wow,
uh,
that's great.
Yeah, it's just if you want to follow along, I won't talk about it too much here, but you
Oh.
can see there's an incredible amount of from the junk that was in there to now we've gotten it already stripped all the way down, and we're posting every project on the Hoodoo platform, and the outreach has been tremendous. We are ahead of schedule and below budget, and
That's
this is
amazing.
incredible. So Hoodoo it, flip it forward.
Advertise all you want. And speaking of advertisements, I have got to show you this ad that attacked me, is all I'm going to say, on my
What?
Twitter feed. Okay? I was just scrolling, doing my normal Sunday night scroll, and I scroll right past this ad. And yeah.
What?
Unjected official.
You don't want to talk about the J curve, but you'll show a peach? I mean,
I'm
this
not
is you can
I'm
see
not
the
showing it. Okay, I have so many thoughts about this, okay? So anyway, it's an ad. This man is kissing a woman's bum.
it
she
seems
does
like
have-
he's maybe biting it.
Okay, yeah. And he's kind of giving it a nice squeeze.
Yeah, you could squeeze a little harder. That means looks more like a gentle, like stabilizing touch.
Sure,
I'm
Scott.
trying to describe for all of the listeners out there
Yeah.
who aren't watching on YouTube. Watch on YouTube, by the way. Subscribe now.
Watch on YouTube. It's an ad. It's a woman's butt. This man is giving it a gentle support hold, and he may be biting her butt. She has
She's
on.
got like a burnt orange underwear on.
It's a bikini bottom, I would say, but then they put the peach emoji over top, so it's kind of confusing. You kind of get a little, unstable. It's just kind of hard to see what's going on, and it's the way they've cropped this image, not a flattering image. But anyway, so I was kind of confused and trying to dissect this image, and then I'm like, what's this even for? Well, it's for Unjected Official. Nothing beats an unvaxxed peach. Get yours at unjected.com. And I
What does
thought
that
to
mean?
myself,
You mean like
is this a dating app for people who are unvaccinated? Well, it sure is.
what?
I think we have some images in there of the website. Yes. The world's first unvaccinated platform. Yeah. So it's the world's first COVID-19 unvaccinated platform. It's built on creating health conscious relationships with those who share like minded values and the convictions to remain unvaccinated. Our advanced algorithm delivers matches that are not just close, but aligned with your desires. Well, first of all, that's untrue because I was served up this ad and I got the jab, if you want
That's
to
what's
know.
wrong with you. I see.
Right. So I was kind of shocked. I was kind of shocked by this.
This just seems like a rebranding of farmersonly.com.
Okay. It got me thinking. It really got me thinking. So this is so niche. And then I just wanted to know what other kind of niche dating apps are out there. That's not just Farmers Only. That's not JDate. Isn't that the Jewish one? Only Fish. And I'm just going to read a few of them to you. Are you ready for that?
Yes, please.
Okay. So if you guys, Cade, are you?
Let
Is
me
this
see
a
if I was
personal
on
question?
any of
No, you have
these.
a girlfriend. You have a girlfriend, correct? So you're
do.
off. You're off the apps. You're off the apps too, right, Scott?
I did buy a lifetime membership to Bumble about 4 years ago, and I was really certain I was going to die alone.
Oh, Scott. Okay.
But
well,
I don't have to
Hey.
be. I'm not on it anymore.
no, you're not.
Hey,
If-
it's not going anywhere.
I can
It's not going
transfer it, I think, though.
well, that's good. Yeah. Okay. So Taste Buds. This one connects people through their taste in music. I don't know. I don't know if my taste in
Okay.
music is enough to give me a lifelong relationship.
Yeah.
Field, Feeld. This is looking for love with a twist. Field is a dating app made especially for those who think outside the box. Whether you're into swinging sessions or open relationships, there are
Oh.
plenty of like-minded people here on Field. Okay.
So that's more of a kink
getting freaky on
platform.
Field. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Lucid, Loosid. Sober friendly. Very good. A lot of people are going sober these days. That'd be a great way to find people who are like-minded. Some more. This one, you see their interest before their image, and their images slowly reveal themselves over time. So you can't be
is
so
Gonna
shallow.
be a
with this one.
success rate of like 0.5% probably.
It's like the show Love is Blind, and that's very popular.
Yeah, but
How you look
Uh.
sets your potential.
yeah.
Okay. Like you're not
On dating apps, that's really all that matters. Unfortunately, it's the sad reality. I don't agree with it, but it is the sad reality of it. It's the first. You figure
I
out all
pray
the
every
others.
single night. I don't ever want to end up on these
Yeah.
again. I'm sorry, Kate, I cut you off.
No, you figure out all the other stuff in person. The apps are strictly like the first blockade.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's your billboard.
Yeah,
You
it's
gotta
your
be
that's a
attracted to the
perfect.
person.
It's a perfect way to put it, though. It is your billboard. That's fantastic.
Okay, Vegly or Vegly, I
Uh-oh.
assume, connect with other vegetarians or vegans. Team Up, that's for the gym
PETA
rats.
People. PETA people right there.
Oh yeah, yes. Have they been harassing you any more, Scott?
No. Just sending me nice emails.
Oh great. TapDat, for people who are looking for hookups rather than commitment. I like
Hey,
that.
I
TapDat.
appreciate it. Just let's be upfront with it.
Yeah,
Those
I love
apps,
TapDat.
those apps don't work. Not that I've used them. That's not what I mean. I'm just saying,
Oh,
like it's
Kate,
because it's
please.
no. Hold on, hold on.
Please share.
No. Wait, hold on. Okay, no, I just know like. Okay, you messed me up there, Kenzo. I'm gonna be honest. Okay, but anyways, my point was no. Stop. I feel like there's only gonna be men on those apps because it's I just from like a thought process idea. Like I don't think a woman. I think women respect themselves too much to get on an app like that.
Well, and they don't. Women have an easier time. If a woman wants to hook up,
Well, yeah,
she
that's
don't.
also
She don't
true.
need like it. Men, we need.
Your dogs.
Yeah, we need to thin the herd
sweating
out.
I'm so sorry that I
Cut
did that to
himself
Kate.
off.
Have you watched the Ashley Madison documentary, kind of talking about stuff like this?
No, I have not.
Do you know what Ashley Madison is?
I do.
Okay, so for those who don't, Ashley Madison is a app that married people can get on to have relationships with other people. It's strictly for cheating on your partner. And it was so interesting when they were talking about the demographics of that website because
And
it was
didn't that all get leaked? That's how
Yes.
I feel like I
the
remember it. is, like,
entire yes, the entire
there were some
database
famous,
was leaked.
uh,
Yes.
family
Snooki's
people.
husband was on there. Yes, there were like these YouTubers that were super popular about creating content about their family and their husband and wives and their children. Yeah. All leaked. Couple
Raya was the one that I tried to get on. Raya, and I wasn't able to get on.
because you're not
It's
rich and
for
famous enough.
Yes, it's for the famous people. And I was like, I have a moniker, the Iowa Nice Guy. I mean, that
Yeah.
probably counts for something. And the reason I got on it is because I was listening to Nikki Glazer on Joe Rogan's podcast. And I was like, oh my gosh, this woman, I am so attracted to this woman. She said on there, I'm on Raya. So I
Yeah.
thought, she's lives down in Missouri,
St.
in
Louis,
around
yeah.
St. Louis. So I was like, you know what? This is possible. I mean, from what she talks about, what she's into, and she seems like she might be okay with a guy had a bad hairline. So I tried to get on because I was going to try and date Nikki Glazer, and I never got past the gatekeepers. They didn't have enough Instagram followers, unfortunately. But and now she's blown up to now Nikki Glazer is super famous.
Yeah, she would have been your sugar mama, but it's okay.
Yeah, now that I've learned more, I don't think she's probably right for me, but it was fun to think about 3 years ago.
You found someone better, so I'm happy for you about that. Oh my gosh, should we jump into some of the topics that we've been overthinking? This first story, I've been sweating about it for a week. Okay. Kayaker swallowed by whale details the inside of the creature's mouth. Did you see this?
Terrifying.
Yes. Adrian Samancas was kayaking off the coast of southern Chile with his dad earlier this month when a giant humpback whale surfaced and caught him and his kayak in its mouth before it went under the water and then decided, I'm actually a vegetarian. I was on this vegetarian dating app and I don't want to eat this fellow.
There are some whales on dating apps, I'll tell you that.
God.
We need to
Continue
get
with the
you an
story.
air horn or something,
Yeah.
man. Where is it? Yeah, thank you.
Mackenzie, get back to the story. You can't laugh live on the air. We got to keep it together. You know it's true. So this man gets trapped inside of this whale's mouth, which is funny because I've been reading, or starting to read. Where'd it go?
Moby Dick?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Hell yeah,
Yes,
brother.
this Moby Dick. I feel like this is very apropos, as they say.
It is very apropos. Yeah. So in this interview, he was saying, he was kayaking. He felt like this big pressure on his back. He thought it was a big wave, but then he could tell it was heavier than that. And when he turned around, I saw some blue, dark colors and a white flashing light through my face, and I felt a slimy texture in my cheek. And then it shut down and took me under the water. It scooped him up, took him under the water, and then he spit it out. And he thought he was in something's mouth, but he didn't know what's mouth he was in. And it was a humpback whale. Holy crap. I think we have a chart. Can you pull that up, Cade, to show how big? Okay, yeah, I love a comparison chart like this. Look how big. So they're typically like 50 feet long. So this one's 46 feet. So look how much bigger that is than an elephant. Can you imagine?
This isn't even the biggest whale. The
No,
blue whale is even bigger.
Right.
That's my favorite animal.
Loved the when we did that in school and we got to like compare them to school buses and you got to pick your whale. Yeah, sorry. Had a hard time finding my words there. The whales, they just overwhelmed me. Being inside of his mouth.
Yeah, the Bible story, Jonah and the whale, which of course is complete nonsense.
Well, you would have thought so until you heard this story. Maybe there was some truth to that.
I think Jonah was living inside the belly of the whale, like hanging out, having a picnic, had a little lantern, just living there.
Who are
for
we
as
to
long
attack
as he wanted.
Jonah's truth? That was Jonah's truth, and this is ours,
Do you know that a blue whale's fart bubble, because they fart, and then, of course, it creates a bubble. You could fit yourself inside of the fart bubble of a blue whale.
I didn't know that. I didn't, but I'm so glad that I do know that.
Scott School lined up on this little thing.
I sing that jingle, and I just love it. I'll catch myself during the week just singing it.
It is really good.
Scott. Yeah. So anyway, that's insane. wild animals. I just can't imagine. What's the craziest thing? What's the craziest interaction you've ever had with a wild animal?
I can just get right into this. If anybody has listened to Murph and Andy, they know my bat saga. I have a special relationship with bats. I got
You need to
into
share.
it. I got into a. There was like a 30-minute segment on Murph and Andy where I was just hanging out at home, and this was right after school. And my dad sent me a text asking. He basically just told me there was a bat in the basement that he kept under a bucket, and that he was too busy before the radio show to let it out. So he proceeded to ask me to take care of it. And I was like, okay, I guess I'll try. And then he was like, hey, you know what you should also do? You should call into the radio show and do play-by-play of you taking the bat out. And yeah,
I remember this.
Yeah, that's it. That's what happened.
You were the hero of the day. You
Yeah.
were the hero of the day.
So
Mackenzie, you have
yeah.
like possums, raccoons,
Yeah.
anteaters, elephant. I don't know. You have a whole bunch of critters at your place.
Yeah, we do. We do. They're always, it's just like a revolving door of wild animals around here. We have an owl now that I've been keeping my eye on because, you know, if you live in the country, you have to have a good set of binoculars by your window. And so I
Ooh.
look at my little owl. Very good. Yeah. So but I rescued a bat from my grandma's house one time too. I just put on several layers of gloves and I took it outside. I just can't.
My bad situation didn't have to, I guess this doesn't have to be bad, but it's the thought that I had. My brother and I, when we were kids, we had, BB guns.
Oh.
And, we go out and shoot some things. And then one time my brother shot a rabbit with a BB gun and paralyzed it
Oh,
from
Scott.
the back half. And so my dad was like, oh, don't worry, kids. No. Oh, I remember my dad was really mad at us for doing it. And so he grabbed the baseball bat and, went down to the out of sight. And then when he came back, he was very nice. He said, you must have just stunned it. It ran off.
That was a good thing for your dad to say because he was lying. But that's a good lie that you want to tell
it was.
the kids.
And that was my brother's fault. He paralyzed the rabbit.
I tell you what, my brother had a BB gun too, and he was always shooting up in the trees and things were falling down. And I am such a crazy animal person that I would just get so upset with him.
Yeah, and the BB is not a good way to go. I mean, you
No,
got
it's
to
slow.
learn how to shoot and all that, but the BB gun's not lethal enough. All it does is like create pain and
Yeah.
a bad death. If it were to kill them, it's not a quick death. So
You know who I hope is not going through a slow, painful death right now? The Pope.
oh yeah, Francis the First.
Yeah, he's sick. He's got some stuff going on. So
He's old.
I know he's 88 and he's hospitalized
Look
for
at how young Joe Biden looks back there. Vice President Joe Biden, John Boehner, and these are some throwbacks.
Yeah, this is yeah, because actually the Pope's looking pretty good in this
Right
picture.
there, yeah. That's got to be from 10 years ago.
But
Yeah. And Joe Biden is a big Catholic. I think Boehner must be Catholic. He's wearing a green tie. I'm guessing he's Irish to support the Catholicism and the Republic of Ireland.
we just love those Catholics, don't we?
But here's the thing. I love the drama behind electing a new pope. Not that I'm saying I'm rooting for the pope to pass away, but I love the drama and the waiting of the election of a pope because you can't really campaign to be pope. You can't really ever say, I want to be pope for your whole career as a priest and a cardinal.
I suppose that kind of goes against everything that you're.
But you need to play it off the whole time.
Mhm.
Cardinal Bob over here. You need, you don't want to be in competition with Cardinal Bob.
Right.
But you
Right.
also want everybody to know that you're smarter and speak more languages than Cardinal Bob.
Yeah,
Right?
exactly. Oh, I love this. This is just
Yeah.
like the dating pool, like we were talking about earlier, because you're not going to put down, enough, but you're going to.
But then
You're
once you
gonna show up what you
die
got.
as the Pope, if you're good enough of a Pope, they will put you on display forever. Because John Paul II, JP2, as I like to call him, he's still on display at the Vatican. At
His
least he was
body?
in 2008 when I was there. He died, I don't know when he died. Or
His
late
body?
90s. His body, his full embodied embalmed body is behind glass at the
Is he
Vatican.
standing up?
No, he's laying down, as one is like to do in those situations. And then people just, there's knee pads and stuff for people to,
No.
pray around. Oh,
What?
yeah. You just sit around, you
Oh.
pray. And it's a different, he
No.
doesn't look great, but I have to say he doesn't look terrible for being dead for as long as he has been.
Okay, wait. When did he die?
Okay, could you look that up for us? When did
I'm
JP2
sorry.
die? John Paul II die. It's got to be like 19. And I should call him Saint John Paul II. He is
You
now
become a
Saint John Paul
saint
II.
after you die?
Well, no, you have to have confirmed miracles that have occurred that you did yourself to become a saint. And so, once somebody dies that they want to give sainthood to, then you just retroactively go back and make up something. And because it's a miracle, how can you can't disprove a miracle. So now he's a saint. Yeah.
April 2nd, 2005.
2005. Okay,
So
so
you
he's
had
only
seen him
3 years dead. Is
when
there
you saw
anything
it.
still up there now that you can find, Cade, of John Paul II? Is he still on display? 'Cause he came here to Des Moines. He was he was out at the old Living History Farms.
Yep.
What?
Still on display.
Gave mass out there. Oh,
He's still on display? No. I'm actually upset by this because where we are now, and I know I vented to you about this before. We are so scared of death and dying, and the fact that they have this dead body, because that's what it is a dead body on display that people can just go parade. No, this is so ass backwards. This is so bad. Remember when they used to take pictures of like the dead people, like the old dead,
oh
like
yeah.
during the cat?
It used to
What?
be that your family, so like the house I grew up in Mount Carmel, where we had the well water, my grandmother was literally born in that house. Her mother gave birth to her in that house. And her grandfather, they had his funeral inside the house. His body was inside the house. And you would take care. That's what the family would do for a long time. Before we had all these systems in place for proper disposal of a body, who was up? It was up to the family. The family had to take care of it. So you'd usually have a morning session. It's for maybe even a couple days inside the house as the body. You put things like garlic and other fragrant smelling things to cover the smell of the decaying flesh. That's what flowers.
I'm gonna be sick. That's so disgusting.
That's
but
one of the
yeah,
reasons why we bring flowers to a funeral is because it helps to cover this, or it used to help cover the smell of dead, rotting corpses.
I suppose, but there are some of those lilies that already smell like rotting corpses. So you could just say like, oh, no, that's not Doug. That's the Thank you so much for this segue, because I'm actually going to be sick talking about the dead bodies in the house. That's so
Some other
gross.
time we'll talk about if you've ever smelt a dead human body, but continue to the Jetsons.
Oh my God. Okay. So I was thinking about this the other day. I have just a bevy of supplements that I should be taking, that I'm supposed to be taking. I put them into my little pill case because I'm a woman of a certain age. And so I was thinking, if I just had a robot, one of that robot's tasks would be like serving me up my daily supplements, because I'm just too lazy or distracted to do it by myself. And so I want to know, Scott, if you had a robot assistant, what would you make the robot do for you?
Well, I have a robot assistant now that vacuums, and
Right.
it does an okay job. It's still pretty dumb, but hopefully it'll get better. What a robot assistant would... I'm so terrified to answer this question because the robots are listening and they're going to take over, and I'm terrified of sex robots. Like a lot of dudes, we're talking about the apps. They're not... They are going to be having robots at their house. If you notice, look at all of the designs for robots that look like humanoids. They're all like hot women. Why do we need to make them hot women? It's because the market is going to be lonely men having sex with their dolls. That's what this is going to be. And I'm terrified of all robots. Except the ones that I have in my house already. So I don't want to answer this because a robot is not going to serve just one purpose. It's going to have multiple purposes, Mackenzie.
Okay, well, if you could break it down to household chores or your personal driver or maybe taxes and paperwork, which one would you pick?
Driving would be good.
Not
The
me.
fourth leading cause of death in America, I believe, at least in the last couple of years, has been vehicular death. We can solve that problem right away by having robot drivers. Now, people are going to still die, and human beings will be like, oh my God, we can't trust the robots. Well, you know who you can't trust to drive a car? Human beings. All right.
Yeah,
So
that's true.
that will be, and also think of all that time you have in the car when you're commuting from one place to the other that you now could utilize for other purposes because you don't have to watch the road. Especially if once you get a vehicle that has more space in it, you could maybe get a workout in. You could maybe
Oh, wow.
work on your golf swing. There's an amazing amount of things that you could do. Maybe have just like a nice chair where you're at a movie theater and you can just watch TV and sleep while you're getting driven anywhere. That's what I would choose.
That's a great choice. That's a great
Mackenzie,
choice.
What are you
What?
choosing?
I want the robot to do my taxes. I want to live my life. I want
The
it to do
taxes,
all.
they already do that. What are you talking about?
But you like
Taxes
I have
are
to get all.
automated now.
No, you have to get all your stuff together. You have to track all your expenses. You have to track all your mileage. I have to do that myself, and I just don't want to do any of that. Just want my little robot telling me, like, here, right. I, I've gathered that for you. I've
Kate
taken care
Murphy,
about that
how
for
are
you.
you going to be using robots?
I saw this very interesting newspaper quote from a high school or college student, and it was about AI, and they said that they wanted AI to be able to do their dishes and their taxes so they have more time to do drawing and art, not AI doing their drawing and art so they have more time to do dishes and taxes. And I thought that
Right
was
on.
very thought-provoking comment because, AI is doing all this stuff like making Elvis renditions of Drake songs and making art.
Those are pretty catchy, though.
Yeah. No, 100%.
They are
But
terrifying.
I want more time to do artsy stuff, creative stuff, and not do my taxes and do dishes and laundry and all that. I want the robot to be able to do that stuff. So I would agree with you, Kenzie. That would be my answer. I don't mind driving. I like driving because I get to listen to music, get to hang out. So that would probably be the bottom of my list in terms of things to do, things for a robot to do for me. But
Hell
yeah.
yeah.
That's my answer.
Get that damn robot in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Get that robot making us some sandwiches. Things like
Speaking
that.
of which, if anyone else has an opinion, and I mean our listeners, feel free to hit our X or IO everywhere on X and submit your opinion. We have a poll open right now.
Cast your cute little votes on your little I just really think that I could benefit from getting some supplements in this
I'm just.
whole body.
What do you think is going to be more popular? Women robots or man robots?
Oh, come on.
Table that for another time.
Come on.
We
know
got
the answer.
SNL50 going on last
Yeah,
night.
guys. So I got a few more. I got my corner for you guys. I got my 3 questions, tidbits for you. Our first one is, what's your favorite SNL sketch? I watched SNL50, and I'm sure we'll get into that if we have more time in pop culture corner. So try to speed through these. But yeah, what's your favorite sketch?
Do you have one, Scott? If not, I do.
Yes. There are so many that I could list out right now, but for the quickness of the answer, I love Wayne's World. It just hit me in the right moment of my life. And then, of course, the movies that came out of that, spun off of that. I still can't believe you guys didn't know Frasier was a spin-off of Cheers. But
No, no idea.
I really love Wayne's World, and anything with Dana Carvey. I feel he's an underrated talent. Somehow the appreciation for him, I don't think, has risen to the appropriate level over his career. So I am a Dana Carvey apologist, and I like promoting his stuff.
I agree with you. I love Dana Carvey. He's so funny. He'll get on Conan O'Brien's podcast sometimes, and those two together, some of the funniest riffing I've ever heard in my entire life. So check that out. I love Brian Fellows' Safari Planet. And I don't know if you guys remember Brian Fellows' Safari Planet. It was, again, very niche, but it was the funniest. It was so funny. It was Tracy Morgan. He'd say, "Good, go and take that monster with you." It's really funny.
Matt Sampson came in Celebrity Jeopardy. That is a sketch that delivers
So
very
funny.
consistently.
I'll take the
Very-
penis mightier. That's the
Oh,
pen
yes.
is mightier.
I'll take the rapist for 500. That's the therapist for 500. I'll do your mom's, Trebek.
Off the top of my head, besides like the obvious ones, I would say I love the Peyton Manning one where he's just chucking footballs at the kids.
Yes.
So funny.
That was so good at the time,
Yeah.
too, because it was very against type for Peyton Manning.
Yeah.
So we've come to know Peyton to have this sense of humor, but that was a coming out party for
Yeah.
Peyton being self-aware, which has been so charming.
Oh, 100%. I think Get Off the Damn Shed is amazing too. Will Ferrell's just amazing. Get off the damn shed.
Oh yeah, Will Ferrell. He was good. He was good in Saturday Night Live. I don't really necessarily love him as an actor. I'm just gonna say that. Sorry.
That's a take. That's certainly a take. Okay, so I wanted to share this because I think it's amazing because I agree with it. But basically, someone was saying that they said, sorry for being nostalgia baited, but it was kind of nice where the internet was a single, solitary, unmoving place instead of a terror that extends to everywhere. You went to the specific spot to go to the internet. When you left the spot, you left the internet. It was a place. And I thought that was very
Wow.
interesting. And I just wanted to know what your opinions are on that.
Yeah. That's so true. My problem was I was addicted to this place. I was addicted to this very specific place in my house. And so that's why we are where we are right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, there were some, if I could go back to having a computer room, hell yeah, I'd go.
You wouldn't. As soon as you got there, though, you'd immediately realize how convenient the internet being in our pocket is. I mean, we've become so codependent upon it.
I know.
Like, imagine being in your car, okay, and you can't GPS something. You're going to get lost all the time.
No, I've got a big atlas that my dad gave me when I graduated high school in the backseat. I'm going to use it.
Remember doing that, Kate? There's no way you remember this because you were too low. But we used to really drive. You'd be driving by yourself and be unfolding a map, trying to find where to
that's
go
before my
while
time.
you're actually
Yeah.
driving.
That's how I got to spring
sounds-
break.
That sounds
In Florida.
terrifying.
I mean, it was better when you had a co-pilot, but
Yeah.
a lot of times you didn't have it. And then you'd have like the atlas or the map. It would either be in the cubby hold or like in the back. You'd have it tucked into one of the sleeves of the back of the passenger seat. So you'd grab
yeah.
it, but sometimes you couldn't find it. So then you'd have to reach behind your own seat.
Yeah.
It was so dangerous. You pull out this thing. Oh, where am I? And you're trying to read a little bit of a road sign. Oh my gosh. I don't know how we did it, but we did it.
We
And we're
did it.
badasses for it.
Exactly. See, we're built different. And so if we had computer rooms, the kids in the future would be built different too. But right now they're just,
You know what you'll have? A
weak.
virtuality room. That's what your kids are going to have.
yeah.
You'll have a room,
No,
you
they're
just
not.
step in, it'll be all padded, and you'll have this tactile
I'll be in a
floor
padded room for
that you'll be-
show. For show, I'm going to be in a padded room.
For
That is
I'd like to see
show.
more
For
padded
show.
rooms added to our society. That would be probably good. But it's interesting to see where we're going to go with all this, with the robots and the computer. But let's all do the thing what we do as we get older, and we'll just make up in our brain that the past was better than now.
The past was better than now. It was.
It's not, but that's what we all. I would not. If you hook me up to a lie detector test right now and ask me if 1998 was better than now, I would say yes, and I would pass that test. But it's not true.
yeah.
It's
it
not.
is
You
true.
can believe something and it can be wrong. I'm telling you.
Whatever. We're kind
Today
of
is way
we're
better.
bringing some of the past back because there's like a measles outbreak going on right now. I love that. I just love that
And
for
vinyl.
Love
us.
that.
Yeah, vinyl and measles. Let's just get this party started.
It'd be a good record store name.
Yeah.
Okay, so I wanted to show you guys my new favorite TikTok account. It's called Hits of Tomorrow. I accidentally played a second of it, and Kenzie looked like she saw God for a second there. Anyways, this is an account that just basically just scrolls through TikTok all day and just looks for aspiring young artists on TikTok who make their own music and stuff, and they just do compilations of it, and it is some of the funniest stuff I've ever seen. It is hard to watch. It is hard to listen to, and I want you guys to bear witness with this with me. So.
Me, trust me, but you show the total opposite. Every time you get into some type of fight or argument, you wanna break up and shit. If you
King, I am the king. I do rap on my own beat. I also sing, inspired from artists like King Honey Singh. I'm a fan of Bandai. I'm a multi-genre king.
Have it your way, and having it my way is day 25 of posting my song "Key to My Heart" until it blows up.
Oh no. This is not serious. Of my heart.
That
I
one
loved that
was
segment.
good.
We might have to bring that back.
Yes, we do.
Oh,
We might have to bring that back, guys.
I have tears in my eyes because that, speaking of 1998, that last Key to My Heart song took me right back there. Backstreet Boys, NSYNC, that was beautiful.
That was almost a total ripoff of a very specific Backstreet Boys song. What is? And my heart. I can't think of what it is, but it's almost like you
it's a
ripped
ripoff.
off the melody from it as well. Shape of My Heart. I think that's what it is. Shape of My Heart by Backstreet.
Yes. You know what?
Oh, I was going to say Backstreet is coming to the Sphere in Las
They are.
Vegas.
They are?
Yeah.
Well, that's wonderful.
Once you do hits and I have money, I'm going to the Sphere for
Are you taking
any
us with
musical
you?
guest that I want. Anyway, yes,
Are you
Pop Culture Corner. Oh my gosh, we just run out of time all the time.
Yes. Well, we have touched a little bit on this SNL. They're celebrating 50 years. So this is their 50th year. And so it's just going to be a big party. And this weekend kind of kicked it off. So Friday night, they had the concert. Did anyone watch? Cade?
I watched a little bit of it. I watched the awesome, my dad showed me the beginning of it where they kind of cut all that music together and edited it all together. And it was so cool. My dad was telling me about it and his whole explanation did not even do it justice. It was insane. I don't know if you saw that, but
No, I'll have
it
to
was
check that out.
so cool.
Yeah, it's just it's really cool. So Lady Gaga performed, Post Malone performed. He performed a Nirvana song, and it sounded really, really good. But I'm a Post Malone fan, and I know
Was
there's
Dave
a lot of
Grohl
people that
there?
aren't.
No, I don't understand the hate for. He seems like such a nice guy. Like I don't love all of his music, but like he's such a lovable guy that even if you don't like his
He
music, like,
is.
you have to enjoy him as a human being.
Yeah,
I think
when
Dave
you have
Grohl was
tattoos
there.
on your face, though, you've lost a big portion of the population. No matter
Yeah,
what,
that's fair.
you're
He
just
can get
gonna
them taken
lose a
off.
portion.
Pete Davidson got all of his removed from Saturday Night Live. He got all of his tattoos removed, and he is
That
like
sounds really painful.
a fine-looking gentleman, you know.
Yeah.
But I
Pete
agree.
Davidson, you think is hot?
No, I think he's a handsome man.
Fine-looking gentleman.
He looks
you think
healthy.
he's a handsome man?
Well, he looks healthy. He looks healthy.
I don't
he looks like he's
understand
gained
this.
some weight. Yeah, because he's
I
funny.
like Pete Davidson. I
Because
feel
he's
like
funny,
we could
Scott.
relate to yes, but
He's funny.
I don't get how Ariana Grande is one of the hottest women to ever exist on the history of the planet.
First of all, no, she's not. And second of all, women don't judge dudes by their looks. We go deeper than that.
Thankfully,
Unlike you sicko
but
men.
hold on,
So-
Ariana Grande isn't attractive.
Of course
Not
she
anymore.
is. She's not one of the most
What do you mean not
beautiful.
anymore?
No. Which version of her, by the way?
2016
seems-
Ariana Grande, you betcha. You betcha,
When
buddy.
she was
You
yeah,
bet.
you betcha, buddy.
Well, how old was she in 2016 though? I don't know if I knew her then.
Scott,
she
we need to
current-
quit bringing age into this because it's,
It does. It matters. I'm sorry. I'm not going to get tricked into somebody saying. Go ahead.
Scott, she looks like right now, today, she looks like the skeleton of her in 2016. She looks like she died. And
I'm telling
she
you.
probably looks like JP2, honestly.
oh,
She
No.
got to get off
Ariana
that
Grande-
Ozempic, son. Nah, man. She
She looked good in Wicked.
Oh, Ozempic. Yeah, well, she was Glenda. She was
looked
playing a part.
scary. She's like frighteningly thin, and I'm a skinny guy.
We
so,
didn't
like,
even
I
get
kn-
into the Dave Grohl situation.
We will talk about Dave Grohl, that sick son of a bitch. But
There's the clip you were talking about, I think, Kenzie.
yeah, I put him in here. That's Brian Fellows. It's so good.
Oh,
and we didn't even
this
get
was
to talk.
awkward. Oh my gosh, we have so much more to
I
talk
know.
about.
We have so much more to talk about. We can save this. This is gonna backfire over the week, so it's gonna be flaming hot by the time we talk about it next Monday. But
Yeah, come to the fan
my final
appreciation
message
on Friday.
Yeah, do that. Come to the fan appreciation on Friday. If you haven't watched that clip of Ryan Reynolds doing his little bit on SNL, if you want to be embarrassed the rest of the day, just go and watch that. It'll do it for you.
very cringy. Yeah.
It
Bad
was.
move.
You could see him like turning his wrists and stuff because he was so embarrassed and he just knew his shtick didn't hit. And then Nate Bargatze got a way louder laugh. Anyways, guys,
Yeah,
I hope none of your guys' favorite bands break up. And thank you for
that's right. I hope all your favorite bands stay together.
Be sure to
That's how it
subscribe
stays.
on YouTube.
Heck
And
yeah.
thank you for joining us today. We will see you.
Good show, guys.
Good
Always
show
enjoy
next
doing
Monday.
It. Thanks for everybody who's tuned in. We'll be
God, are
back
you
on
mad at
Monday.
me?
Are you mad at you?
Yeah.
Only a little bit, but that's pretty standard for the day.
I could tell. Like you were just